He's given them the whole thing. There's up, but now he's got to move. And even in that, the still works. Verse 16, therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, do not spend the night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily cross over. Let the king be. Now Jonathan and Ahimaaz stayed, for they dared not seek into the city. A female servant would come and tell them, and they would go to David. Even in this, even in ours, the enemy still works. The enemy never gives. The risk is there. If you were these people, in verse 7, or tell David, saying, do not let the female servant comes up. In verse 18, nevertheless, a lad saw spread covering over the well's mouth. Yes. No hope here. Hope once more. Things like this come into play. You could just melt. You could just, all of a sudden, just stand there like a deer in the headlights. But these guys played it out. They played it out well. This gives me the players. Everything is on the line for these guys. And a lad, just some kids say, hey, that ain't, people are not. I'm going to go tell somebody. Woman pulled it off. 19. They got down the well. There's a well. Then the and spread a covering over the well's mouth. The thing was not amazing. They went through there. All that told them is, oh, they're grinding. They're grinding grain. Boom. That's not a place to go look. Why would you look under a pile of grain? She pulled it off. It's amazing. So that's what I'm going to do. You know, maybe I shouldn't. It always struck me as it's the great. Do things are coming. So here, whisper something in it. Mom, God can use something so fragile, so like, hey, that moth could have gone anywhere, but it just flutters around nobody. But and that's the thing, the edge and that voice. And what's your name? Your ID. She played it well. She's like, well, hey, they were here. She did a good job. Her demeanor, her courage is powerful. Just a person in the middle of an amazing event. Now it came after they had departed that they came up out of the well and went and said to David, the water quick. Ahithophel advised the king who were with him, arose and crossed over the Jordan. By him was left. Now it came to pass. Now it came of all things when God amazing things can happen. And we just have a snapshot of this event. Ordinary people, extraordinary things, and placed by God. These ordinary people, realizing what God is, strengths that He put in them that they had no idea. That sometimes, why am I going in you? A strength, a truth to hold on to. That through anything, you can be a player like these people. Always done. The ages. He's always used ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Sometimes it may seem so small, but yet so much. Verse 22, so David and all the people who were with him arose and crossed over the Jordan. Morning light, this was quite an achievement. There was babies, people there. There was so much, such a slaughter, such a horrible thing that could have happened. An absolute answer to prayer. So many people are involved in this. Yet look how did they pull it? Complicated how we serve the Lord. By their obedience. By their availability. And by their willingness to serve. This is here. Just not give up. Don't take with anyone who makes themselves available. How we can become someone's answer. God, I'm so depressed. I'm so defeated. I have no answers. God, help me. Here comes that. Sees, knows, directs. And I've been that person on both ends of the fence. Where you have what you just and how it just come pouring out because you asked. And you're able to share, encourage, be one of the other aspect. Someone's prayer. And by that, we can play in an event. Beyond. We can play in an event beyond or our control, yet look at the amazing outcome. Brought because of obedience, ability, and going forward. Well, it won't be hard to finish Ahithophel's demise. Now, when Ahithophel saw, verse 23, that his was not followed, he saddled a donkey and arose and went home to his house, to his city. He put his household in. Was a fool. What's that tell us? He hangs because he lost himself. Pursuit of power, stuff, none of that worked out at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just judge him, but in his mind, I'm going to find meaning and purpose in life if I exceed right here. Exceed right here in it. Laid in his lap. It was there. You could see it all over the place. And just that this other man's count look like I got nothing. Thing that I thought what I thought. Pride and power, delusional. And he lost himself. But by one bad choice after the other, by denying the truth, denying who did. The product of business, because his value system was a lie. Meaning and purpose in life is not found in. It's found in the child of God. I have died to myself. I will now live for him. We can humble to our King. What's our take? One is my pride, your pride. Climb and worship God. Jesus led David that David climbed and worshiped God. And God him, and God also strengthened Jesus. Angels. The biggest battle that Jesus was not my will, but thine be done. That's the bar. Here's another one. We'll meet you in prayer. Art. He meets us in prayer. I think God is true. We are in battle to be used by him, but when we're kind of like lost in the pursuits of stupid, guys, to pray, I just want to be used by you. And we all want to be used by you, Lord. And in every act, we want to be available all that you have for us. We know can be overwhelming. But Lord, we know we are a child of God, bought by the blood of the Lamb. Let us walk in the power and authority of your word. And let us be effective in the world of
take a low and lonely bird, yet to sleep beneath the stars that you have made. Well, oh my God, would stand the way to walk the road, rejected and despised, that you might know the weakness I possess. My rock, the strength who came into the world. In his love like a mighty flood. What love, my God, could hold you to the tree, to bear the overwhelming debt for me. The Son of Heaven leaves the Father's side. The healer bleeds, the life was made to die. Oh, your love, my God, like a flood, as heaven opened up, pouring out on us. Oh, praise the King who came into the world. In his love like a mighty flood. Well, love, my God, so gracious and extreme, was strong enough to come and fight for me, to go through hell and down into a grave, and raise me up to see you face to face. You raise me up to see you face to face. Oh, your love, my God, like a flood, has heaven opened up, pouring out on us. Oh, praise the King who came into the world.